What's up, guys? Welcome to benicellguy. Sorry for the crappy background I have. I'm actually in my basement because the time that I'm recording this video, which is on March 11, 2012, I am recording this at 7:39 in the morning. So, and my parents are still sleepy, so I do apologize if I am being quiet, but what I'm going to be doing in this video is this is actually the first episode of the series. My first series on this channel is called What Do I Think? What Do I Think is basically a series where I pick out a topic and I give you guys my thoughts and opinions about it, mainly tech related topics. Now, I haven't confirmed what specific day I'll be doing this series on, but just expect this once every week. So, the first episode of my series, What Do I Think, is going to be about the new Apple TV and the new iPad that were announced from Apple on March 7th. So let's start with the Apple TV because it is very simple like that. So you have a new update for the Apple TV and it can play 1080p movies on it. Now that's going to be great because currently the Apple TV is only playable in 720p. Now as far as the spec wise for the Apple TV, the only thing that changed was that when it was launched, it had the A4 processor, which was a single core processor, and now we have the A5 chip, which is actually a dual core processor on there. But unfortunately, I'm kind of confused about this because I checked on Apple's website and they say the A5 chip is like single core or something. Maybe I remember wrong. I'm not too sure about that, but the user interface does look a lot cleaner than previously, and it's a definitely must-have upgrade because it does look a little bit cleaner and it's a lot more simplistic, I guess. Now, will I be getting the new Apple TV? No, I never owned an Apple TV in my life before, but I don't feel like I really need it yet because I got the computer and I could just connect it to my TV. Now, let's talk about the much hype anticipated iPad 3, or as Apple calls it, the new iPad. Now, my thoughts about the new iPad, they're very positive, but I do have some negatives about it. For example, like, this may not seem a necessary issue, or how would you call it, like a big issue, maybe it is. The name itself, the all-new iPad. Now, this could seem a little weird because when you're calling Apple Care to get some tech support, and they're gonna be asking you, okay, which iPad do you have? And then you have the iPad 2, and then the all-new iPad, which it kind of doesn't make sense, but maybe Apple might change the name to Apple 3rd generation. Who knows about that? Now, as far as the spec goes, I mean, it really has some major upgrades. You know, it has the Retina display, which is 2040 8x1536 with a total amount of 3.1 million pixels, and it has a 264 pixels per inch. That's a great display. It is actually much improved from the iPad 1 and the iPad 2, which they're both the same displays, which are from 1024 by 768. So as you can see, the resolution actually doubled from that, and it has an A5X processor, which is actually quad core graphics. So it's still dual core because you guys saw my recap video. I did mention that I was confused on whether it was quad core processor or just quad core graphics, but still dual core. It's actually still dual core, but you are getting a much better graphics performance on that iPad. And you have 4G LTE. And now my opinion about the new iPad, I actually think it's a solid upgrade from the iPad 2. And here's the reason why, because, you know, let me just give you a history about Apple. So Apple launched the iPhone 1st generation, then they launched the iPhone 3G. New design, 3G radio. Then they launched the iPhone 3GS, which had the same design but faster specs, or improved specs, or you could say that. And going from the iPhone 3G to the iPhone 3GS, it's not a necessary upgrade because all you're getting is just spec upgrades, and those upgrades aren't really important. Like, all you got was voice control, compass, and then video recording, which it was okay video recording, but it wasn't HD video. However, it went from a 2 megapixel sensor to a 3 megapixel sensor, so that is a great upgrade. And when the iPhone 4 was launched, going from the 3G to the iPhone 4, that was a definitely must-have upgrade. And going from the 3GS to the iPhone 4, a must-have upgrade as well, because you got, you know, 2 cameras, one for video chatting and one for recording. And then going from the iPhone 4 to the iPhone 4S, it's not a necessary upgrade unless you just have to have a better camera or Siri, which I definitely would do it just for Siri, because I want to play with Siri so bad. Anyway, back to the topic. So the reason why I think the new iPad is actually a solid upgrade from the iPad 2, that's because of the upgrades it got. And the upgrades I'm looking at is the A5X processor, which is quad-core graphics, and you got 4G LTE as well as a better display on it. Because with 4G LTE, you're going to be getting much faster speeds than 3G. For example, HSBA Plus, I remember it was like 21 megahertz per second, I believe, and then LTE is 73 megahertz per second. Now that is a big upgrade from HSBA Plus to LTE, because HSBA Plus is slower speeds. However, that'll have to be put to the test depending on your area. I can't guarantee that this is going to work for all areas, but we can assume that LTE is much faster than HSBA Plus. Now, a negative that I have about the new iPad is that it did have some Siri support, but only Siri dictation or voice dictation. However, they didn't put the full Siri on there, so Siri is still on the iPhone 4S. We're not sure if it's going to be coming up in the next iOS 6 update. We're not sure about that. And the iOS 5.1 update, nothing too fancy on there. All it had was like Siri in Japanese, and then they just had some minor upgrades on a little bit here and there. For example, when you're on the lock screen, you know how you have to double tap the home button and then click the camera button? Well, when you open up your lock screen, you have a camera button right here. All you do is just click on it and then slide it up like that. And another thing is for the iPad 2 as well as the new iPad 3rd generation. It has a revised camera application. For example, usually on the iPad you will have a little camera button right here. And even when you are in landscape mode, you have a little camera button right here as well. Well, for whatever orientation you have it, your camera button will always be right here. So you can push the button right here, and then when you're in portrait mode, you can push the button right here. And it is actually a much easier experience to take pictures or take video with your iPad, which I don't know who would use the iPad as a video camera or a camera to take pictures and stuff, because it does feel a little bit awkward when you're holding it up like this, holding something big. Unless you were to get a tablet that's the size of the BlackBerry Playbook, then I guess I can't say anything. But you're still going to be getting better quality on the iPhone 4S. This is the 3G, by the way. Don't get this mixed up. Now, speaking of cameras, the iPad has a 5 megapixel sensor with 1080p video recording, but the front-facing camera, unfortunately, is still VGA. Now, here are my thoughts about the cameras. I think this is a big upgrade, but I don't know if Apple really see anybody using their iPads to take video or take pictures. Maybe they did, but not that many people do that. So then why would they put the 5 megapixel camera on the back and not the front? Because the front is crappy and it's VGA, and people mostly use the front facing camera for FaceTime calls or making Skype calls or just video calls in general. And with that 5 megapixel sensor, the video chatting would look a lot more crisper and a lot more richer than VGA, because VGA is crappy. So as far as the new iPad, with besides all these negatives, it's a solid upgrade from the iPad 2. And now, will I be getting the new iPad 2, or I'm sorry, the new iPad 3rd generation? Will I be getting it? Well, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't want to use their parents to just buy them whatever they want, because I feel that I didn't earn the money, they earned it, and I feel that it's their money. So no, I won't be getting the new iPad, but if I did have my own money that I made myself, then I probably would get it, because main reason is because of LTE, better display, but also this is actually my first iPad that I've ever owned for myself. We actually have one, but it's my dad's, and it's the iPad 2, but he barely uses it, only when we travel. But if I was making my own money, I would definitely get the new iPad. So I do apologize that you guys won't be seeing any unboxing from me or the review. Now, as far as the Apple TV, like I said, I won't be getting it because I don't feel the need for it right now, since I have a computer that's connected to my HDTV whenever I want to watch videos. So what do you guys think about these new products that Apple announced? Do you like it? Hate it? Do you like Android the best? Leave it in the comments down below because I want to see what your thoughts are. And for more updates, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/benicellguy, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/benicellguy. If you guys want to stay updated on when I post a new video on your YouTube homepage, as well as click the like button if you thought this was a great video. And let me know what do you guys think about my new series I'm doing. What do I think? And I will see you guys in the next video.